this pisses me off.
Yeah, that was Joe Walsh in 2011 during his first year when he was elected to Congress, having a town hall meeting with his constituents. Now, he actually does make a good case. I mean, he's on the right side of this, but he's making the case that the banking failures were caused by government regulation of the banking system. So just real quick, that a lot of people that really shouldn't have qualified to get home loans did because of the government. But that's not the problem here. Walsh makes he's on the right side of this, but he completely alienates, as you're about to see, his audience by acting like a raving loony, by acting like a complete lunatic. He doesn't even let any of them get a word in edgewise, as you're going to see. So let's take a look at Walsh, who's now running for president, and I guarantee you he's going to be hyped by the mainstream media. But let's watch him in 2011 as his crazy antics completely alienates his very polite constituents at a town hall meeting.
Joe, look at the people, Paulson and whoever else, that keep going from a big bank, then they go into Fed government, then they go back into the banks, and they just keep rotating.
I agree with you about that.
I agree with you. So why am I acting so confrontational? Why?
I agree with you about that. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is you got to be consistent. And I don't want government meddling in the marketplace. Yeah, they move from Goldman Sachs to the White House. I understand all of that. But you got to be consistent. And it's not the private marketplace that created this mess. What created this mess is your government, which has demanded for years that everybody be in a home. And we've made it as easy as possible for people to be in homes. All the marketplace does is respond to what the government does. The government sets the rules. Don't blame banks and don't blame the marketplace for the mess we're in right now. I am tired of hearing that crap.
Yeah, way to take a good message, Joe, and completely alienate your audience with an insane ranting message. Yeah, can you imagine Joe Walsh if he would have been at the Constitutional Convention arguing in favor of adopting the First Amendment, and yet it's a good thing, right? But the way Walsh would do it would be completely alienated. I picture it as something like this. Oh, hey, James Madison, you want to have a First Amendment guaranteeing that Congress shall not abridge freedom of speech? Well, I agree with you, but that's not the point.
So don't.
I am tired of hearing that crap.
Fighting the situation, taking and
There
throwing
are
money
all-
after people they know they couldn't
There
afford
are
it.
already mechanisms
You don't
in
disagree
place.
with me, I'm
No,
not
you know what?
disagreeing
Because this pisses me off. Too many people don't listen.
Speaking of people who don't listen, Joe, maybe you should take your own advice and not scream into the faces of your own constituents?
There are already mechanisms in place to do that. Are they doing their job? No. But what do you want to do? You want to bombard them with more regulations, more government? Government screwed this problem up. What do you want? Well, you know what you've got?
Because
you
honestly,
know what you've got? You got Dodd-Frank.
The banks
You
left
got Dodd-Frank now that's tying everybody's hands. You wanted more reform, more regulation? That's what you got. John, do you want more regulation? Is that what you want? Do you want Dodd-Frank? Is that what you want?
Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I'll tell you what I want. Joe, I want you to give at least one of your constituents there at the town hall to at least get one word in edgewise. Now, watch what happens. Watch Joe's reaction when one constituent tries to very politely just ask a question, just to get a word in edgewise. Watch this.
What did I say back at Joe's barbershop.
I need more coffee. It's so,
I think you had too
it's
much.
so
You need
freaking
decaf.
easy.
Decaf.
So easy.
Decaf.
Make some decaf.
Joe,
Wrong stuff. Quiet for a minute.
Hang on.
Quiet for a minute.
what did I say?
Quiet for a minute, or I'm going to ask you to leave. You need to listen, or I'm going to ask you to leave.
Quiet for a minute, or I'm going to ask you to leave. You need to listen. You need to listen to me rant like a complete lunatic. You got that? Or I'm going to ask you to leave now. So anyway, so what's the deal with him? Why? What's his motivation for running against Trump? We all know what the result of that's going to be. You know what I think it is? I think it's pretty obvious. The money. Joe Walsh probably looked at another Joe who was used to be a Republican, a former Republican, Joe Scarborough, and he's thinking, hey, you know, maybe if I do that shtick, I can get myself a gig on MSNBC or CNN or wherever on the mainstream media, because, you know, that's what happens when you're a former a congressman or a former Republican and you go against Trump, you're going to get media attention. We're already seeing it happen. So, you know, it's better than being on a no-rated radio show in the Chicago area. Now he has the opportunity to go national, even though he flops. So that's pretty much it. So you agree with me about that? You do? Well, guess what? I agree with you. You got that? I agree with you.
Because this pisses me off. Because this pisses me off. Because this pisses me off.
Subscribe to the Dummy Funnies now!